Hey guys, what's going on? It's Tuesday, April 21st. Just doing a little bit of location scouting. I really love this place. I remember when I was a kid, I used to come here with my parents to shop, and that was long, long ago when we first got to California. But this place is still here, and I believe it's going to be a future redevelopment site. But from what I heard, this place was going through a lot of transition. Pretty sure right now, obviously, there's not going to be any development moving forward until things settle in. In the meantime, I just wanted to talk to you guys for a quick minute, kind of giving you a little perspective on what's going on in the market. So the market right now, as it stands, we're seeing volume pick up as far as listings for multifamily. I don't really do too much in the single family space, but the multifamily space is where I concentrate a lot of my time with the business. And we've been seeing smaller mom and pop investors who maybe might be a little nervous or can't carry a lot of debt for the extended period of time that is being projected for people to probably not be paying rent, issues with delinquencies, which is totally understandable given the circumstances. We're going to see probably an uptick in properties going on the market and trading. What's being projected is most likely the investors that are going to be buying these properties are cash heavy, either funds or investors that are local and abroad. Whoever can afford to buy these properties sit on any lack of income, which you're going to have to absorb for a few months, most likely. The other big issue is going to be not having to be dependent on any liquidity through any institutional money. That's another one of those big things that a lot of people who are investors at this point are sort of making their decisions on. I don't know how many properties are going to trade this year, but definitely the volume's going to slow down in terms of apartment buildings that are sold, apartment buildings that are listed. We're going to see definitely an uptick in defaults, people moving, non-payment of rents. And with the moratorium in place right now in the city, you have a lot of people who are probably just going to end up defaulting down the road. There's not going to be deals that are going to close. Maybe some stuff that's been in escrow for a while might just sit in escrow even longer, or the deals will be dissolved just because there's no ability to fund the debt that's required to actually close on these properties. Or borrowers are going to have to put down a lot more money. Standard practice in commercial paper these days, if you want to know, is usually about a 35% down payment, 65% max LTV, depending on the income stream that you're buying, because when you do buy an apartment building, you're buying the income stream. That's the function of the actual asset. And obviously the smart play is to not be in a position where you're holding debt and not getting any income. And so the bigger issue just becomes the ability to absorb any loss to income, any loss to lease, as they call it in our business. That's going to be one of the harder things to deal with as an investor. We know because we're taking a look at the deals we're involved in, but the reality is we don't have any control over that. We're hoping that all of our tenants and all of our clients and investors and partners who have tenants in their buildings are somehow able to work out something that allows for everything to sort of be melded after all of this passes. Hopefully the loss of jobs and the loss of income to families doesn't put them in a position to have to leave their property. But if that does become more and more apparent of the chain reaction that this whole thing is causing, unfortunately these things are going to have to happen, and everybody's going to have to adjust to it from top to bottom. So I know it's tricky because there's so many moving parts, all the way down to the tenant and all the way up to the institutions that are financing these bigger deals, or any deal for that matter. It's hard to stomach the idea of everybody losing, but hopefully it teaches us the value of saving money for rainy days. It's always been part of the conversation of how you should manage your money, is to have a rainy day fund, put 3 to 6 months worth of your living expenses in some kind of savings account or in some investment vehicle that you can actually utilize when stuff like this happens. Unfortunately, there's still a lot of people that have to pay an absorbent amount of money just to pay their overhead. This is going to be a valuable lesson, because I think not only has the rental market stabilized, but we might actually see a small contraction in what rental values look like. It's already bad enough we don't have enough affordable housing, and we don't have enough supply to meet the demand of people who are transitioning either into the state or leaving other units to get into something more moderate. We're still dealing with the fact that incomes are just not leveling up enough to keep up with the cost of living. We have so many factors, and at the end of the day, something has to give, and I think this might be that last piece that had to break in order to sort of put all of this into a perspective and under a huge magnifying glass. The accountability ranges from government all the way down to the local person, local investor. I'm always happy to talk to you guys about real estate. I'm always happy to talk to you guys a little bit more about what we do. That's part of this channel, is to give you guys more insight about the business that I'm in, what I do separately from everything else that I talk about, especially when I'm doing either car reviews, camera reviews, anything of that matter. I do also, this has been my business for the past 20 plus years. So if you guys have any questions about the business or the market, if you're in the business, if you're a tenant and you want to know more about what's going on, happy to give you guys responses in your comments. And if you guys have any other questions, let me know. I'm happy to do a whole separate video on something a little more in-depth if you guys want it. So let me know, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel for more information. And I'll talk to you guys on the next one.